Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. China is so angry that the Dalai Lama is in the US to receive an award that it's withdrawing from a number of international meetings. His Holiness received the US Congressional Gold Medal today after being hosted at the White House by President Bush. The Chinese Foreign Ministry warned of an extremely serious impact on bilateral relations if the decision to honor the Dalai Lama was not reversed. The Buddhist spiritual leader has lived in exile in India since 1959 after staging a failed uprising against the Chinese government. Well, Chris in California looks to the revered Tibetan monk as a role model. The Dalai Lama should be recognized for his peaceful demonstration against the Chinese. It should be the best practice when compared to the terror campaigns seen elsewhere in the world when fighting for a cause. Kim in England has some strong words for the Chinese government. The Dalai Lama has done more for peace than any other world leader. It's time China took its part as a world power and started talking reasonably by restoring true autonomy to the Tibetan people. From Hungary, Ilda also chides the Chinese government for its statements. China should learn a thing or two about basic decency and democracy if it chooses to be part of the human race. If they are not going to give Tibet its independence, then they can at least keep their mouths shut. Well, the Dalai Lama is the subject of a cartoon by Eric Ali, who thinks he knows what might actually blow the spiritual leader's air of calm and tranquility. Gas prices. As you can see, His Holiness has lost all self-control, like most of us unenlightened beings, when it comes to filling up at petrol stations. You might recall that we've had a question for our open mic segment asking, what's the first thing you would do if you were president for a day? Well, yesterday we heard the answers of people in Los Angeles, and now it's on to the Philippines' capital, Manila.
If I will be given a chance to become a leader for a day, I will try to improve the wage and benefit of the employees for them to have a living wage, not just a minimum wage.
First and foremost, the problems of the poor. Here, people have no livelihood. If people have jobs, there will be less crime and families will not go hungry.
I'll change the educational system because, being a teacher, I think there's really something wrong about the educational system in the Philippines because I think once the educational system gets better, everything will follow.
To help the poor, not just in Manila. Problems in Manila are not the only things we should look at. In the provinces, poverty is really bad and is always overlooked.
Open mic there. Well, a new and enormous skeleton of a new dinosaur species has been discovered, and what's particularly exciting is how well it's preserved. This week, Brazilian and Argentine paleontologists announced that they've found the largely complete fossil of a new giant dinosaur that lived almost 80 million years ago. It measures nearly 112 feet, or 34 meters, from head to tail, which is as high as a 4-story building. Remarkably, the fossil has survived 70% preserved. Catchy advertising is a challenge, especially in trying to be original. Well, Herbert and Gerbert sandwich clubs and sub shops decided to combine humans and flip books in what must be the first ever human flip book. 150 t-shirts were used to make this stop animation clip. People come up with some clever stuff. That's it for this one. Do keep sending in your questions and comments and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera. Some of the content's been changed, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.